All right, this is the second part to electron configurations. So hopefully you have color-coded your periodic table. And so I want to show you that you have 4 blocks or what we call orbitals. And it doesn't matter what color you chose, but we have the S block or the S orbital. We have the D block or the D orbital, the P block or the P orbital, and then the F. So now we're going to do a real example of electrons, and then you can do this worksheet that I have for you. All right, so if we look at lithium, let's look on the periodic table for lithium. And we notice that lithium has an atomic number of 3. So that means it has 3 protons and 3 electrons. So the electrons is what we're looking for. So this has 3 electrons. So, but we're going to go back to our periodic table, and we're going to use these colors to help us figure out how to draw the orbitals. All right, so if you locate lithium is right here. So I'm going to count. It's just like reading a book. You start at the left side, and we're going to start at row 1. We're going to count this box, that's 1, and we're going to count this box. And notice that's your S orbital. So that means we need, here's your 1s, we need an up arrow and a down arrow. So that's 2 of our 3 electrons. And then we are here now. So we've come to the end of the sentence. So we got to go back to the left. And now we're in the second energy level, because this was our first energy level. And we see that we're right there. This is lithium. This is where lithium is located. And that's where we stop. So I go back, and I only have 1 box. So I counted the boxes. So let me show you that again. So let me clear that. So this is period 1, period 2. You should see that going down the side of your periodic table. So I want lithium, and lithium is right here. And to get to lithium, I'm going to count each box. So that's 1 box, 2. And notice that we're in level 1, and we've counted 2 boxes. So that's why I'm going to have, if I were to do this, one arrow up and an arrow down, because in the last video, you noticed that you have to have 1 arrow going up and 1 arrow going down, and you can only put total of 2 electrons in each box. So that's our 1 and our 2. And now we're on the second energy level. So this was 1s. And then the next box is 2s, but we only used 1 box. So we're only going to have an up, because there's only a total of 3 electrons. All right. And so make sure you stop the video and write this example down. So again, for lithium, we should have an up arrow and a down arrow, and then just an up, because we only need a total of 3. If you count each arrow, they represent an electron. So to write as an electron configuration, see, this is an orbital diagram. So if we were to draw this, we would say 1s, because we're in energy level 1, we're in the s orbital, and we have 2 arrows there, so that's why it's going to be 1s2. And then we put a 2, because now we're in the second energy level, and it's the s, so we're going to put s. But notice we only have 1 arrow, so that's why we put a 1. So we count 2 and 1, we get 3 total electrons. All right, let's go to neon. So let me backtrack. So for neon, if we are looking for neon, so if you look at your periodic table, you should see neon is right here. So that's where we're going. So again, I've got my 1 energy level, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. So I've got to start at my energy level 1, and I'm going to count my energy level 1 boxes. 1, 2. So for neon, if I have my 1 box, I put 1S, and I've got an up and a down arrow. All right, so I'm at the end. I can't go on any further, so I'm going to go to my second energy level. So here I'm going to put my box here. So that's 2S now. And notice there are 2 boxes, 1, 2, and that's all the S right now. So I'm going to put an up and a down arrow. Now I got to keep going. I'm still on the second energy level. And so my p orbitals, you're going to have 3 boxes that represent the p orbitals. So this is 2p. So I'm going to count each box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 6 arrows. But remember about the hogs, you can't put 2 in a room until you filled up all of your rooms. So we're going to put 1, 2, 3. So now I've put 1 in each room. So now I can go back 4, 5, 6. So that's the orbital diagram of neon. Now, if I were to draw the electron configuration, so I got to write this, 1s. I've got 2 arrows, so that's going to be a 2. And then I'm going to put 2s, and I have 2. And now I'm going to put 2p, and I'm going to put 6, because I have 2, 4, 6. So let me go back. So let's redo that again. So neon in the 1s, the 1 is your first energy level. We had an up and a down. And then we came to the end of that row, and then we got to 2s, and then we got to 2p. We only put up arrows first, and then we go back, and we needed those because we had a total of 6 in the p orbital. And then to draw my electron configuration, this right here, 1s, again, in the 1s, I have 2 arrows. In the 2s, I have 2 arrows, so that's 2 electrons. So remember, this number is your electrons. And then in my 2p, here's my 2p, I have 6 arrows, 6 electrons. All right, let's do iron. So if you want to stop the video and see if you can do iron, you can do that. But I'm going to go back now to my periodic table. And so define iron. Let's count our boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So iron is right there. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So here's iron. So again, we don't have to know the numbers of electrons for iron. All we got to do is go across the periodic table and count our boxes, the color-coded boxes. All right. So this one is a little tricky, and I'm going to show you why. So on your periodic table, when you get, so we know this is energy level 1, energy level 2, energy level 3, energy level 4, energy level 5, and so forth. So watch what happens as I get this level here. Notice we have 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, but we're in level 4. When you get to the D, in the D level, you can put this above your periodic table. N stands for the energy level -1. So for d orbital, when you get to your d orbital, you need to subtract one energy level from. So if you're in energy level 4, you're going to subtract -1, and that's actually energy level 3. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, I'm going to erase that because I'm going to use this area. So we're going to see what our electron or our orbital for iron is going to look like. So again, I draw my box for my 1s because that's first. And so I'm going straight across. I got to keep going across until I can't, there's no boxes. So here's 1, 2. So I'm going to have 2 arrows, one up, one down. Now in energy level 2. So all the s orbitals are only represented by one box. So here's 1, 2 boxes. So I'm going to put an up and a down. So now I'm going to cross, and now I'm in my p orbital. So the p orbital always has 3 boxes. So I'm going to count each box, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means I've got to put up arrows first. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is 2p. All right, now I'm down to energy level 3. So that's my 3s. So again, I'm at the s orbital. So remember, the s orbital only has one box. And we're counting 2 boxes. 1, 2. So up, down. And then now we're still going across. Now we're back at P again. So again, we put 3 boxes. 1, 2. And we're going to count each box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 up, 2 up, 3 up, 4, 5, 6. So this is 3p because we're in the p orbital. Now we're going to energy level 4, and we're back at S. So I'm going to one box. The S only has one box, so that's 4s. And we're going to count 1, 2. So we have 2 arrows. All right. So now we're at the D area. So this is what I was talking about. Even though we're in level 4, when we get to the D area, you're going to subtract 1 from it. So we're actually at 3D. So 3D, the D orbitals have 5 boxes. Add another one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So this is where we're stopping. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So got to put all ups first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have one more, 6. So this is called 3D, and we have 6 of those. And let me make sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, because my lines are running here. So that is your orbital diagram of iron. So if we wanted to draw the electron configuration, so again, you look at this. So I have 1s, I have 2 arrows, that means 2 electrons. Now I'm at 2s, 2 arrows, so that's 2. And then I'm at 2p, So I'm going to put 2p. I have 6 arrows. So that's 6 electrons. Now I'm at 3s. So I write 3s. I have 2 arrows. So that's where the 2 comes from. And then now I'm at 3p. So I'll put 3p. I have 6 arrows. So I'll put 6. And now I'm at 4s. And that's 2 because we have 2 arrows. And now we're at 3d, and I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is your electron configuration for iron. So I wanted just to go over that with you. And so now you got a worksheet that looks like this. And I want you to try it. This is where you would write the numbers and the letters with the little number at the top of each letter. And this is where you write your arrows. So see what you can do with this, and we'll discuss it more on Thursday.